All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is January 6th. We got ourselves a Friday jam packed with some NBA games here. Like we always do, we're going to jump into each and every game. I'm going to give you what my thoughts are. I'll give you my lean. But if you want to fade, if you want to ride with my actual picks tonight, make sure to keep an eye on the pinned comment that is posted here on this video throughout the day. Just scroll down, you'll find the pinned comment. If it's not there yet, we just don't have any final plays yet, but that is what I'm actually going to be rolling with if you want to ride or if you want to fade me, guys. But yeah, we're going to jump into each and every game. Before we do that, let's talk about yesterday's ride of the day. The ride of the day did not come through. It was so damn close. Jason Tatum, a triple-double ball game. He didn't play the last, 4.5 minutes or so? A triple-double ball game. Bo had him at over 31.5. You guys know, if you've been around long enough, you know the ride of the day. If you win, you get the applause. If you lose, you got to face the womp there. So I jumped on board with this. Jason Tatum, that close to cashing this one for us, guys. If you want to be tomorrow's ride of the day, all you got to use is hashtag ride of the day in the comments. I'll be jumping on board with one person's pick. Then you guys get a shout out again, win or loss, in the next video. And before we get into this, I want to ask you guys to consider becoming a baller today. We're putting a lot of effort into the members on the channel. I cannot thank the new channel members enough. Absolutely taken off this season. $2.99 a month. You guys get access to a bunch of models that we have. Also, we're doing a series of how to build your own model. I know a lot of sites charge 50 to 100 bucks a month for a model. In this series, I'm kind of taking you guys behind the scenes and saying, hey, this is how you can do it yourself. You can tweak it, you can test it, trial, tribulation, all that good stuff, guys. $2.99 a month. That is just one of the handful of perks you get for becoming a channel member. Click that join button right next to the subscribe button. And speaking of that, hit that subscribe button as well. Let's jump into it. We got our first game on the slate. We have Indiana taking on the Blazers. Actually, before we even get into the game, I forgot to say last night's record, we went 1-0. We had the Celtics -2. That one absolutely cashes. Celtics blew out the Mavericks there, but yeah, Jason Tatum again did not come through. So the ride of the day, which we usually put a half unit on the ride of the day and a full unit on our plays, obviously, because that's not our play, so we end up making profit yesterday, but just a small day. But let's jump into the Pacers taking on the Blazers here. Pacers 1-point favorites at home. Totals at 231.5, and I've seen this one jump up plenty on some sports books. I think it's at 233, so I think this total is going up. This screenshot just maybe slightly outdated. We screenshotted about an hour ago or so, but Pacers here 24-15 against the spread on the season, facing a Blazers team that's 22-15 against the spread. Both these two teams very good against the spread. They played in early December, and Portland won that bout 116-100. They're 5-point favorites. They covered there. On the road, Portland's 2-6 in their last 8 games. Do math, Evan. 2-6 in the last 8 games on the road against the spread. And the Pacers, on the other hand, 4-1 in the last 5 against the spread at home. So I'm going to lean the Pacers in this ball game here. Do I love this play? No, I don't know if this becomes a final play, if we're being honest, but I do lean the Pacers here, favorites at home. Moving on, we got Chicago taking on the Sixers. Sixers, 4.5-point favorites, total 228.5. These two teams played late October. Philly won 114 to 109. That was the only meeting this season. At home in their last 6, Philly 4-2 against the spread. They're playing really well. They're 6-0 straight up against the spread in their last 6 games here. But no Embiid tonight. So that's going to change things drastically. I do think without Embiid, this Sixers team, though they've been playing pretty well, they've won 3 straight. They won 8 of their last 2. Like I said, 6-0 in their last 6 at home here straight up. I'm going to lean Chicago. Another play, I hate to do it to you guys, but another play that I don't truly love tonight, plus the 4.5 points isn't all that much for me. I think that this Sixers team has plenty of talent that they can succeed even without Embiid, even though he is obviously their best player, one of the best players in the league. I am going to lean Chicago plus the 4.5 points, but I wouldn't expect to see that down in the pinned comment. In terms of a total, though, I do like the over 228.5. I think Embiid can slow the game down sometimes when he's out. This Sixers team seems to play a little bit faster, so I'm going to go ahead and lean the over here as well, just ever so slightly. All right, moving on, we got the Raptors taking on the Knicks. Raptors 3.5-point favorites at home. Total set at 220 right now. I've seen it at 220, 219 on some sportsbooks, so keep that in mind. This Toronto team, I don't really know what to make of them as of late. They're keeping games, I guess, somewhat close, but losing the games. Milwaukee, they lost by 3. Indiana, they lost by 8. They beat Phoenix. That was a beaten and broken Phoenix team. They competed with Memphis, kind of the wheels fell off at the end there. This Toronto team is very confusing, whereas this Knicks team is seemingly covering games. They've covered 2 of the last 3. They haven't had this hardest strength of schedule, so this game is kind of perplexing to me, but I'm going to lean the Knicks here. They're getting 3.5 points. I like that. I like the Knicks and the over. We've been cashing Knicks overs this season plenty, so you know, I think they're going to stick to that there. It's gone, their over is hitting 7 of their last 9 games here, so I'm going to lean the Knicks and the over in this game. All right, Brooklyn traveling to New Orleans. New Orleans 4.5-point dogs on their own court here. Totals 231.5. Makes sense why they're dogs. This Brooklyn team's playing really good basketball. They just caught a loss, was it 2 nights ago to Chicago? But before that, they'd won like 12 or 13 straight, so they were due for a loss there. New Orleans looks like they're going to be without Zion and Brendan Ingram still. Willie Hernangomez and Larry Nance Jr. both questionable here. I think that this is a bounce back spot for the Nets. I think you're getting a very good line. This could easily be a 6-7 point line in my opinion. So the fact that you're getting it at 4.5, maybe we see it come down to 4 as well. I'm going to lean Brooklyn all day long here, minus the points. And then in terms of the total, I do like the under. I think that the way the Nets are going to kind of bounce back is going to be by getting a little bit more intensity on that defensive end. They let Chicago drop 121 on them last time out. So I'm going to lean Brooklyn and the under in this one. Moving on, we got Charlotte taking on the Bucks. Charlotte getting 11.5 points here. Total is 234. Very high total. Huge line here. But Charlotte did cover this line when they played Milwaukee last. Not by much, though. 96-105 was the last time they played early December here. 3-2-1 in their last 6 against the spread on the road for Charlotte. But Milwaukee's playing well at home. 3-1 in their last 4 against the spread. Gordon Hayward looks like he's going to be doubtful. Kelly Oubre Jr., he got surgery. On the Milwaukee side of things, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis all on the injury report. Drew Holiday's probable. Giannis is probable. Chris Middleton still out here. I think that I'm going to lean Milwaukee. Do I like that play? I don't think so. You know what? Screw it. We're going to lean Charlotte. We'll sound the psycho alarm. I'm on the fence on this one. I think that this is such a huge number, 11.5, that, you know what? Screw it. We'll go with the underdog. I rarely do that. I have all my picks and leans on the second screen over here, and I have Milwaukee, but I put a ... question mark right next to it. So you know what? We're not trusting this big old gut. We're fading ourselves. We're leaning Charlotte plus the 11.5 points. Total, I don't have my mind made up on at all. Both these teams trending in an over direction. So I'm going to go ahead and fade that total. That is a huge number, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 125 to 115 type game or something like that. Moving on to the Pistons taking on the Spurs. Spurs 1-point favorites here at home. Total is 233. This is a garbage game, guys. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm probably just going to side with the Pistons because they've had a little bit more spunk lately, I guess. But man, oh man, if you think this is going to be a final play, you are the psycho there. If you guys have a play on this game, drop it in the comments. But I'm going to lean the Pistons and the under here for really no particular reason, guys. Before we get into the rest of the games, I do want to talk to you guys about MyBookie. Consider heading over to MyBookie. Use that link in the description. It's always good to have another sportsbook. Compare lines, compare odds, get the best price or best line or best odds out there for you. If you have -4.5 on one book and -4 on MyBookie, you're gonna want to go and hit up MyBookie there. They have a bunch of different lines and different odds and tons of things to play over on that sportsbook. Easy to use. Check it out. Link in the description. Use code GBS for partial % match on your deposit. Go check out MyBookie. Thanks to them for sponsoring these episodes as of late. Let's keep it going here. We got Washington taking on the Thunder. Thunder 1-point favorites at home. Total 231.5. It has moved from the graphic here, so that's 232. It's 231.5 as of late right now. OKC won this game by 1 point. They were 5-point underdogs in mid-November, and won this game outright, 121-120. I think that this game does end up being a high-paced game again. However, 231.5 seems a little bit high for me, so I'm going to slight lean towards the under. Nothing crazy there, but I'm leaning towards the under, but I'm also going to think that Washington kind of gets back and gets their revenge. Now, no Bradley Beal tonight. I think that's okay, as OKC has plenty of injuries that they're dealing with as well. They do have SGA, but I'm hoping that Kuzma and Porzingis can kind of, compete with him or combat that scoring presence. So I'm going to lean Washington here, plus the 1 point as an underdog. And then also, I guess, the under in this one as well. All right, moving on, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. I really do like this game, playing the Denver Nuggets here. Nuggets coming off of a whopping of the Clippers last night, but Donovan Mitchell is a no-go, and Darius Garland is still questionable. It's all going to come down to that. For Denver, you might want to keep an eye on that injury report too. You don't know who's going to start, who's going to sit, coming off a back-to-back. Now, their starters definitely got plenty of rest last night, so I wouldn't be too concerned with that. But you never really know if they're going to try and sit this one out with, if they sit Jokic because Mitchell and Garland aren't in or something like that. So keep an eye on this injury report. I think it's going to be a very good game regardless. And I'm going to lean Cleveland plus the 6.5, excuse me. I think I said 6 earlier. 6.5 points here, even though Mitchell and Garland may not be in. I do think that this is going to be a pretty good game. Denver's coming off of a high from last night. They might come back down to earth. So I'm going to lean Cleveland plus the 6.5. In terms of total 227, I'm going to lean towards the under in that one. All right, moving on, we got the Timberwolves taking on the Clippers. Clippers 3.5 point dogs on the road here. They're coming off of what we just talked about, that loss to Denver. I think they bounce back here. Keep an eye on that injury report. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard is doubtful here. Minnesota, Karl-Anthony Towns still out, but nonetheless, this Clippers team has lost 4 games in a row. They've not covered in 3 games in a row, but those teams have been Indiana, Miami, and Denver. Decent teams as of right now, and those losses include Boston in there as well. So after getting spanked 122-91 last night, I have a feeling this Clippers team has to come back and play with some fire. So we're going to lean Clippers here plus the points. All right, Phoenix hosting Miami. Miami is 1 point favorites on the road. Phoenix 20-19 against the spread this season. They started pretty hot, no pun intended, as the Suns, but they've lost 7 of their last 3 games. They've lost 4 of their last 5, including 4 straight games, but they're coming off of a cover against the Cavs. That was a low-scoring 90-88 game. They're 5-point underdogs. They did cover that. Devin Booker still out for them. Cameron Payne downgraded to out. They don't have many guys playing. Miami's getting their guys back, so I'm going to lean Miami here. I just think this is a fadeable situation right now for the foreseeable future for the Suns. Yes, they're a good team. Yes, they do have good players, but it's just a fadeable situation with no Devin Booker and just the true inconsistency. They've scored 88 and 83 points in their last 2 games. Yikes. So we're going to lean Miami here. I don't hate the over, though. Even though Phoenix isn't scoring that many points, they only scored 83 against New York and then 88 against Cleveland. I still think that they can put up 100-plus points, and then it's on Miami to go and score 115, 110. So I'm going to lean the over in this one because it's such a low number. Last game on the slate, the Hawks traveling to LA. 1 point dogs at home, total 234.5 here. These two teams played just a few nights, like a week ago, and LA won this one 130-121. We were on the right side of that. No Clint Capella here for the Hawks. They have lost 4 of their last 5 games here, and the Lakers have won 4 of their last 5. So kind of an inverse here. LeBron James upgraded to probable. Russell Westbrook probable here. I'm going to lean the Lakers at home and the over in this game. That is going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. Hope you guys do enjoy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.